Well, Caitlyn Clark has had a remarkable impact on attendance. 35 consecutive sellouts at Carver Hawkeye. The senior average attendance over 14,900.
The Indiana Fever just made what could be the most expensive mistake in WNBA history, all centered around Caitlyn Clark. This $11 million disaster is about to hit the franchise hard, and it's not what you think. While Caitlyn sits out with a mysterious groin injury, her bank account is growing far beyond the entire Fever payroll combined.
Boston hands it off as Clark's back in. She goes down. And midcourt and flexing that ankle.
Oh, this late in the game.
But the real story isn't injuries, it's what's happening behind the scenes in Indianapolis. Picture this: a 23-year-old rookie arrives at a struggling franchise and transforms an empty arena into a sold-out madhouse.
How monumental is the Caitlyn Clark effect? Clark will make her regular season WNBA debut on Tuesday when the Indiana Fever take on the Connecticut Sun. And as expected, the game is already sold out. The Suns' first sold-out home opener since 2003. Ticket prices have skyrocketed. Courtside seats for this game are reselling for over $2,000 each. As for the rest of the league, the Las Vegas Aces and Washington Mystics have already moved to bigger venues to accommodate for the demand when Caitlyn Clark comes to town. The Indiana Fever have also become the most followed WNBA team on Instagram. The Caitlyn Clark effect is real.
Rookie season with Indiana, the home average attendance, a WNBA record over 17,000, and on the road, a league record over 15,000 average attendance.
This is a name that's been blowing up more recently. Caitlyn Clark, obviously a phenom in women's basketball.
She turns bargain bin TV ratings into primetime gold and makes the Fever relevant for the first time in over a decade. You'd expect the team to celebrate her, right? Instead, they bench her at every chance, hoping she doesn't notice other teams sliding into her DMs with blank checks.
Walks there to the stanchion. Obvious frustration.
Let's break down the numbers. Caitlyn Clark is making $11 million this year. But here's the kicker. Less than $80,000 comes from playing basketball in the WNBA. That means her league salary is less than 1% of her total earnings. She makes more from one Instagram post than an entire month putting fans in Fever seats. Nike alone is paying her $28 million over 8 years.
Nike just released a brand new commercial featuring Caitlyn Clark and her new Kobe shoe that she released today. And I saw this commercial yesterday on social media. I thought it was so cool. There's a shot when she's in the locker room and she opens her eye and it like turns into what looks like a snake eye, but when you zoom in, it's actually the Kobe logo in her eye.
Gatorade, State Farm, Wilson, Panini, Xfinity, Gainbridge, they're all throwing money her way. Meanwhile, the Fever can't even keep her healthy for more than 3 games in a row.
The WNBA season hasn't even officially started yet, but the impact Caitlyn Clark is having is still insane. First, you gotta keep in mind what she's already been doing. Caitlyn brought in an estimated $36 million to Indianapolis last year in her very first season with the team. She was also credited with generating 27% of the entire league's economic activity that season.
Now, about those injuries. Isn't it strange? Caitlyn never missed a game in college and played through pain for 4 straight years at Iowa. Suddenly, she can't stay on the court, sidelined with vague groin issues. The timing is suspicious. Every time she returns, her shooting struggles, recently hitting just 42% from the field and 14% from 3 over 6 games. But here's what you might miss. She still averages over 9 assists per game, carrying the team even while shooting cold. And what does she get? More bench time. The Fever's mishandling is shocking. A 55-year-old stalker was sentenced for sending Caitlyn hundreds of threatening messages, traveling to Indianapolis, claiming an imaginary relationship, and forcing her to change her appearance in public. Even this stalker understands Caitlyn's value better than Fever management. When she plays, tickets sell for over $200 on the secondary market. When she's out, prices drop 40% overnight. At the All-Star game in Indianapolis, ticket prices plunged from $121 to $72 as soon as she announced she wouldn't play. That's serious money walking out the door, all because the Fever can't keep their golden goose healthy. It gets worse. Stephanie White, the new coach meant to fix fix things, seems more interested in teaching Caitlyn patience than letting her play. Just last week, Caitlyn sat in the coach's chair and White literally kicked her out, telling her to know her place. White talks about the big picture and long-term health, but it's code for, we feel threatened by how big you've become. Why else manage minutes of a 23-year-old in peak condition? Why pull her when she's heating up? Why ask her to change the style of play that's selling tickets? Meanwhile, Caitlyn is building an empire that doesn't need the fever. She just became all-star captain with over 1.2 million votes, more than any other player. Her endorsement deals dwarf entire team payrolls. She could literally buy and sell half the WNBA if she wanted to. Yet, the Fever act like they're doing her a favor by letting her warm the bench. Insider sources say multiple teams are preparing cap space for 2027. When Caitlyn becomes a free agent, the New York Liberty are ready to offer her the max contract plus every endorsement opportunity Manhattan can provide. Las Vegas will roll out the red carpet, probably name a casino after her. Even international teams are sniffing around with contracts that would make NBA players jealous. Here's the real bombshell. Caitlyn doesn't even need the WNBA anymore. Ice Cube tried to lure her to the Big Three with a $5 million offer. European teams would pay 7 figures just to practice. China might offer part ownership of a team. She has more options than a Vegas buffet, and the Fever treat her like she should be grateful for table scraps. The joke around the league, the Fever went from budget airlines where you pay for water to private jets overnight, all because of one player. Instead of protecting their star, they're playing power games that would make reality TV producers blush. It's like winning the lottery and then complaining about taxes. Players shooting 2 for 14 get praised for confidence, while Caitlyn is lectured for taking one contested 3. Veterans who can't hit water from the beach get the green light, while the best shooter in franchise history is told to be patient. The double standard is so glaring, even referees are embarrassed. Here's a truth that should make you mad. WNBA players get just 9% of league revenue, compared to NBA players' 50%. Now that Caitlyn's driven merchandise sales up 500% and attendance up 40%, you'd think they'd want to keep her happy. Instead, they're doing everything they can to drive her away. Meanwhile, Fever management thinks they hold all the leverage, believing Caitlyn needs them more than they need her. But she's got a net worth approaching $5 million at age 23, endorsement deals to set her for life, and a fan base that would follow her anywhere. And here's a stat every Fever exec should fear. When fans were asked if they'd still support the team if Caitlyn left, 86% said they would follow her. That's not just a fan base, that's a traveling army. These fans bought jerseys for the name on the back, not the logo on the front. Don't take my word for it. During a playoff game in Connecticut, Dejanay Carrington accidentally hit Caitlyn in the eye. When reporters asked, Carrington got defensive, and the opposing team's organization tried to intimidate the media. That's the level of jealousy and hatred Caitlyn faces every night, and her own team can't even pretend to have her back. The media tells the story. When Caitlyn plays, games draw over 1 million viewers. When she doesn't, they barely crack 200,000. ESPN built their entire WNBA coverage around her. Social media engagement drops 70% when she's off the court. She's not just a player, she's the entire marketing department. But here's the scary part for the Fever. Sources say Caitlyn is already questioning her future in Indianapolis. The constant injuries, strange coaching decisions, and lack of support are taking a toll. She went from a college ironwoman to being labeled the league's most fragile superstar, and those around her are asking questions. The Fever could fix this overnight. Fire anyone who doesn't get it. Hire coaches who let Caitlyn be Caitlyn. Build the team around her instead of forcing her into an outdated system. Give her the keys and watch the money roll in, but they won't. Ego beats economics in Indianapolis. Numbers don't lie. Cities that land transcendent talent either build dynasties or become cautionary tales. Right now, the Fever are racing toward the latter. They're about to become the team that had Caitlyn Clark and lost her, the franchise that fumbled away the biggest star in women's basketball history. Whispers say Caitlyn's camp is already laying groundwork for the future, exploring other markets and international opportunities. When the time comes, she'll have somewhere to land that truly values her. The irony is brutal. The Fever spent years irrelevant, begging for attention. Then Caitlyn falls into their lap like a gift from the basketball gods, And what do? Treat her like she's the problem, as if her success is a burden, not a blessing. Here's my prediction. Within 2 years, Caitlyn Clark won't wear a Fever jersey. She'll be in New York, Vegas, or overseas, making triple what Indiana can offer, playing for people who want her to succeed. The Fever will fade back into obscurity, and the fans who showed up for Caitlyn will disappear just as fast as her jump shot when she's sidelined. This was preventable. The Fever had to do one thing, not screw it up. Instead, they're writing a masterclass in how to destroy a golden opportunity. Thanks for watching Her Hoops. If you think the Fever are making the biggest mistake in WNBA history, hit like and subscribe for updates. Drop a comment with where you think Caitlyn should go next, because this story is far from over.